it's my pleasure to be here with you again. So good afternoon, and let me talk about business humanization and social good and how AI can contribute. So Wojtek mentioned several times capacity building, which is very crucial and resonates very well with this topic. And now let me add a couple of words. So let me share my presentation. So first of all, let's define what do we mean by cognitive enterprise. Cognitive enterprise, we believe, is a smart business which is aimed at human welfare and happiness growth. And for this reason, it creates intelligent workflows, uses cognitive ergonomics, and creates innovative experiences via different set of efforts. And these innovative experiences are directed towards clients, employees, and partners in the ecosystem. This is in general how do we imagine this cognitive enterprise, which is designed to increase social welfare, social good. Okay? So, meaning that if society and members of society are in healthy way happy, this accumulates and this creates social good, cumulative happiness. So let me refer here to IBM Institute of Business Value Analysis, which defines three milestones, three pillars of cognitive bank. First one is deeper contextual engagement, which means that actions are personalized, human experience and intelligence is augmented with AI, and also a bank provides access to opportunities to ecosystem partners. So other pillar is new analytics insights, which enables, first of all, contextual understanding of data and interaction with customers, ecosystem partners, employees, etc. Also automates banking processes using these insightful findings and provides knowledge-driven opportunities for ecosystem processes. And third, very important and crucial thing is enterprise transformation. Enterprise transformation implies transformation of business processing, delivery process, and it is about also changing culture in enterprise and society also. Redefines roles and cultivates talents. And this responds to several times, mentioned several times, this capacity building again. And it's very important. So here, what we mentioned, we can imagine in two layers. One is technology layer and second is non-technology. Technology layers consist of several pillars. Again, there are enablers, which are represented by data and infrastructure. So as we know, data is cultivated and created everywhere, and its volume, variety is immense, so incredible. And we need to deal with it by means of special technologies, platforms, and here AI helps, because AI augmentation is important in data accumulation and management process. Second pillar is approaches and tools. So we see the role of data analytics augmented with deep learning and artificial intelligence, and also a very important field, the whole universe and realm, let's say, natural language processing, natural language understanding, natural language generation, and streaming analytics, of course, because data is cultivated in very fast. So cultivation is very fast, and so we need to use our opportunities as soon as possible, because sometimes data gets obsolete very soon, very quickly, and we miss our opportunities to create value from it. And also, third technology pillar is ensuring impact, what we call ensuring impact, which consists of three directions. First is decision engines, second, recommendation engines, and third is virtual agents. These three directions are very popular, very trendy, and particularly Bank of Georgia is engaged in business too. A second layer is about organizational processes, policies, people, data culture, talent cultivation, leveling, motivation schemes, and of course, very important, a very human thing, data ethics. All this leads us to cognitive enterprise, where central role plays a human being and everything is designed for human happiness. So let me talk a bit about this process transformation. Uh, it is important to have, as I mentioned, uh, data arrives very fast and changes content uh, and contexts very fast. And so we need to be quick. We need to be quick. And for this, we need to redesign our traditional way of working. And the best approach so far humanity invented, we believe, is agile approach with several layers. And the first one is important one is lean startup, fast-paced lean startup approach, where path from idea through production, realization of this idea is shortened. So this means that idea is cultivated, then MVP or minimum viable product or a prototype is built very fast. Then it's measured in quick way. Then data is collected, lessons learned also in fast way, and again these loops anew. And in the whole agile ecosystem, it looks like this. So we have some design thinking phase. Then we need to build capacity uh, very fast, and then to scale it. The scaling phase is domain of agile Scrum framework, and their approach use this that minimum viable product or prototype should be scaled up incrementally in short periods of times, and everything should be monitored and well controlled. And this short period of time approach is better because in a changing environment, in this dynamic environment, we may lose, the context may change fast. And so our efforts and brilliant idea, which we thought a year ago was good and beneficial, so it might be obsolete. And that's why we need to slice our path in shorter ones to understand well if we deviate from right path due to objective or subjective reasons, we need to correct our way and tune it as fast as possible. This is about process redesign, and I would like to proudly say that Bank of Georgia changed completely this delivery model to agile. And we use this approach, this very approach, which is presented in this diagram, design thinking, lean startup, agile. So let me say a couple of words about cognitive ergonomic principles, which are worth mentioning, and it's necessary to take into account when designing some product or making efforts to develop some new approaches. First of all, it should be useful, desirable, accessible, credible, findable, usable, and valuable for end user. So these measures are very important and critical to keep in mind when designing something new. What I would like to talk about today in the context of banking use case is improvement of customer experience and employee experience and employee satisfaction improvement. Uh, I have here three use cases for you, and all three are related to speech technologies. Uh, as we know, so we are human beings. For us, the communication is most comfortable in a way we speak, right? Even if we speak in our native language, for us, comfortable is to speak with person who reflects our style, whose style of speech is closer to us. And even if it is not, and if styles deviate and we would like to converge our understanding, we try to code switch. We try to make our speech and style closer to counterpart. So this is I'm mentioning now very trivial thing that we like to be communicated in a natural way. Natural way of communication for us is natural language. The best one is our native language, right, and native style. And for this reason, of course, clients and ecosystem partners, human beings, would appreciate such human interaction, and technology behind this human interaction to be possible is very complicated. We can imagine several layers of it. First of all, we need to understand the meaning of pronounced sentence, right? Words or sentences, contextually. I mean, first thing is to understand verbal context, but verbal context is not enough, right? Because our communication consists of non-verbal part, and sometimes it's very important because verbs might lie, but intonations, mimics, etc., are more convincing and less exposed to lie. Uh, Second thing is that we can handle written text or in more easier way, but most of our communication happens in oral way, and we need to register this oral speech in written form in order to then process it and grasp some context. And for this reason, one needs to develop natural language understander and renderer of oral voice, oral speech to textual version. So later I will talk about it a little bit more. But now let me present here one use case related to virtual agent for contextual engagement. Contextual engagement is very important because in banking, everywhere, of course, but particularly we are talking about banking now. Uh, Customers need banking products to satisfy their real life needs, not vice versa. So they do not need their real life to serve the banking product, right? And it is important and crucial. We need to understand what really our customers need in order to improve our service model and deliver most satisfactory uh, offers and products to them in timely manner, of course. For this, we need, of course, deep contextual analysis, then natural language interaction, of course, to deliver our message in understandable and most comfortable way. Learn at every interaction. We need to update our imaginations of the world. because, of course, we do not have a full-shaped understanding, and we need to continuously improve our understanding. Then all these efforts should deliver innovative experience to customers, and of course, main implication is that our response to customers and ecosystem should be appropriate and relevant. And benefits delivered by these virtual agents. Here are listed several, but this is an exhaustive list of good things it can bring. Is that more human-like dialogue that delivers comfort and provides comfort to customers, less delay, so waiting time is minimized, higher customer satisfaction. So if we interact in a natural way and we reflect their needs and satisfy them, of course, satisfaction should increase. Improved, so this should result in improved cross and upsellings, and it should lower operating costs. This is one use case which can improve both sides, customer experience as well as experience of bank, and success. So let me talk a bit about the architecture of these cognitive agents, virtual agents. So here, this is very simplified scheme presented, and here the dialogue starts with human question or human sentence communication. I want to buy bike, for example. How can machine understand that? It should use some algorithms of understanding, natural language understanding, and should grasp. So here it is implied that we hear, the machine hears oral speech. So it's pronounced in natural way. I want to buy bike. So it is most complex situation. Otherwise, it could be written also. But let's imagine a complex situation. I want to buy bike. So first of all, machine should render it, translate into like written sentence, uh, like if we imagine Georgian case, so we have phonetic alphabet, and it should dephonemize spoken text and render it with Georgian letters. Then this text should be analyzed from verbal point of view. Verbal part of it should be analyzed by natural language understander, what we call natural language understander. So it should grasp context. But also it's very important to catch non-verbal context. As I mentioned, intonation. It contextualize a psycho-emotional state of speaker, right? And these should be rendered also. And the textual understanding should be augmented with non-textual one also. And finally, context is understood, and machine should learn from this communication what happens based on previous knowledge and previous model of the world, and via interaction, feedback it took from the world, from the universe, now from the human being interacting with machine. So here we have show a deep reinforcement learning approach, because this is this unifies two things. So one is that learning happens in interactive way, so in interaction with the world, outer world, and also it uses graphs to learn, like particularly neural network, where dots are related in certain ways, and also there are some transformation algorithms which enables agent to learn, to converge its imagination to reality, outer reality. Then it should be followed uh, from sense generation. It should generate sense after getting point what human being wants. So response should be generated, reasonable response, not arbitrary one, but reasonable, which is relevant to human being, and it should be rendered with human voice. Human voice rendering technology exists, by the way, for Georgian as well, with quite satisfactory quality. And the most complex part is sense generation, because it's here is exactly where intelligence is created, and we need to use here reasoning technologies. And finally, message from machine is delivered to human being with human voice. It's artificial agent, but with human, it replicates human voice, and it might replicate intonations, emotions, etc., etc., when it is and what is relevant particular case. So this is very general architecture, and currently our company works on two milestones of this virtual agent technology. First is natural language understander, and speech to text rendering for Georgian language. And then we are going to improve, uh, optimize, and the sense generation part is coming soon. Uh, Let me uh, also talk about a second use case, which might be very useful, not only in banking, but also in other kinds of businesses. But in banking, it's related to resource consumption. It's very time and finance consuming engagement. I mean, contact center. In contact center, imagine, so there are several hundred thousand of communication monthly, and who can analyze what is going on in society? And even for one conversation and communication, uh, emotional being, human being, is exposed to many mistakes. And so our resources are limited as human beings, and we need augmentation with artificial intelligence. To deliver, for example, we are not able to provide a comprehensive expertise in everything, right? And we need to make correct reference. We need to do it in very fast way. And these thoughts emerge in the brain when conversation starts, and it create additional stress. Imagine if there is some artificial agents which helps resolve this problem. And everything is reflected in contact center dashboard. We are this contact center agent has real time 360 view, complete view of client. And when some conversation starts, this agent helps, immediately understands what is it about, this conversation, topic, emotion, etc., etc., and makes reference. We are to redirect this talk if needed. Then this creates, as a result, this scalable delivery. Of course, time consuming takes place, and relevant redirection. And of course, quality of response improves. Appropriate response uh, share increases, and this leads us to faster problem resolution, lower employee stress, higher employee satisfaction, higher customer satisfaction, etc., etc. And finally, optimize the resource allocation. Uh, this is one of the things which resonates with employee satisfaction and innovative experience for employees, what we mentioned in the beginning. And related to this use case is the third one, which is very interesting, I think, and it is a challenge even for English language so far, I think. It is legal briefs. Uh, as widely known, this legal language is, if not the most complicated, one of the most complicated registers of the language, right? Because there are some contextual, phrasal gambling and play matters, and grasp context in fast way from purely textual data. Unstructured textual data is a real challenge, even for those languages which have this natural language processing technologies in quite good shape. And if we imagine, for example, this situation when there are legal disputes, a lot of legal disputes take place in banking and in non-banking businesses as well. And uh, lawyers, bank employees need to go through huge corpus of briefs to understand analogies or contexts or something similar or ways of resolution, etc., etc. This is immensely time-consuming and stressful engagement. And their dream is to have some briefs, reference briefs from previous cases, previous experience, which will simplify their path to resolution. And so if we imagine the loop, there is some, if there is some legal corpus analyzed by a natural language understanding, each entity delivers some legal briefs, and finally, transformation brings reference contextual advices. So this will save a huge amount of time for legal employees in legal department. Of course, this also should lead to faster problem resolution and lower employee stress. And also, by the way, because we are subject and exposed to human mistakes, it should minimize human mistakes, also caused by stress and emotions. Everything should lead to higher employee satisfaction, higher quality resolution from the point of view of business as well as the customer, more scalable on-demand expertise, and less resource consumption. These are three very vivid cases, all related to speech technologies, which are being elaborated in our bank and in many other banks. In banking, it is very trendy, and also in business in general. And I think that all these efforts should lead to higher levels of uh, life or welfare, more happiness in society. And so it might sound a little bit philosophical, but if everybody is happy in healthy way, society grows faster and in more human way. Thank you very much.